Well, y'all, look like the murderer of Marquise McLaughlin got his ass handed back to him by another inmate this past Tuesday. Michael Drejka, attacked in prison, isolated from other inmates, officials say. You know, it goes back to what we have been saying for a while in the Black community. You ain't shit without that gun. Pitiful without the gun. Clearwater parking lot shooter Michael Drejka was attacked in prison on Tuesday and has been confined away from other inmates. Ain't Billy bad boy without the gun. A fellow inmate at Lancaster Correctional Institution attacked Drejka from behind using a sock with a metal object placed inside. So this is what his attorney is saying, citing information from Drejka's wife. The 49-year-old Drejka sustained head injuries and received 5 stitches, Trevina said. The Florida Department of Corrections issued a less detailed account of events Wednesday, saying Drejka was involved in an isolated incident with another inmate that took place at about 12:30 p.m. Tuesday, and that the situation was brought under control by institution security staff. They said this was a Black inmate, y'all. That one was for Marquise McLaughlin. He was separated from the other inmates, and so right now he is in solitary confinement, protective custody, whatever. So he is separated from the other inmates, I guess, as long as he got a fresh gash that's been stitched up on his head. Probably will be in a lot more danger if they put him back in the population like that. Corrections officials did not disclose any details of the attack or identify the other inmate involved. Well, I hope they identify him, because I think that inmate deserves some good commissary. What do y'all think? He needs some commissary, just like the one that beat the hell up out of Dylan Ruth. And he received so much commissary, he was able to get out of jail and hire a lawyer. So y'all, if y'all hear about the name of this inmate, please let me know. That inmate deserves some commissary. The agency statement said correctional officers were diligent in their efforts to search inmates and common areas to eradicate weapons and unauthorized property. The department also did not release any information about the extent of Drejka's injury, saying that his medical information is protected by state and federal law. Trevina called the statement and its lack of detail laughable. Well, there's not very much you can do. He is a convicted murderer. The Department of Corrections says, he is incredibly inept at protecting inmates. Well, this happens to inmates in our community around the clock in America. And see, once you're in there and you're attacked, you can't call 911. You can't get on the phone and call the police. A lot of these men are raped, they're beaten, they're killed, and the corrections officer is not around, or sometimes they are around. They don't like the inmate. So remember, you wrote the 13th Amendment, which takes everybody's rights away from them once they're placed behind bars. That would apply to Drejka too. Okay, Lancaster, where Drejka is being held, is about 35 miles west of Gainesville. In August, a jury found him guilty of manslaughter in the shooting death of Marquise McLaughlin, a 28-year-old father of 4. Drejka was sentenced in October to 20 years in prison. Remember, the sheriff's department. Remember the sheriff that came out? He was acting as a defense attorney for him. This is stand your ground. And no, nothing about that was stand your ground. And if y'all remember, other people came out and said Drejka started altercations with them, and they were all black people. So that's all he did. He was lurking around parking lots looking to fight with black people. And look at where it landed him. In jail for 20 years. Was it really worth it? And now you're not even safe in that prison because these inmates are itching to get at you. But you know what? Marquise McLaughlin was only trying to defend his girlfriend and children. Michael Drejka was just out there lurking around being a racist. Was it worth it? And there were other people that came forward and said they saw this man and he was doing this mess all the time. And what he did was caught on surveillance. So you're lurking around parking lots and there were cameras around catching what you did. Woo, I guess that's that high IQ again, y'all. Pinellas Sheriff Bob Gualtieri initially declined to arrest Drejka, who is white, because the sheriff said Drejka's actions were protected by Florida's controversial stand your ground law, which they never needed that law. There were enough laws on the books to cover people that needed to defend themselves. You did not need a stand your ground law. That was not even a necessity. And look at who they allowed to use that law and who they don't allow to use the law. That says a lot right there. McLaughlin was black and unarmed, and his death struck racial tensions reminiscent of the 2012 shooting of a 17-year-old Trayvon Martin. And we know how that went. They let George Zimmerman go, and this guy just stays in trouble with the law. About 3 weeks after the shooting, the Pinellas Pasco State Attorney's Office charged Drejka with manslaughter. It went to trial in August 2019. A 6-person jury found him guilty. Probably one of the most justified verdicts we got in a long time. That being said, they usually don't do nothing to people like Drejka. And he probably really believed he was going to beat this case, being that people that look like him normally do. But this man was being nothing but a public nuisance, trying to provoke fights with black people all the time. And look what it has done for him. Well, you better get used to being in there, Michael Drejka, because you're not getting out anytime soon. Please leave your comment and subscribe. Don't forget to hit on the notification bell, and I'll see you on the next video. Peace, family.